Credit card interest. What is it? Welcome back to Credit Card Central. Today, we're diving into a crucial personal finance aspect affecting millions of people worldwide: credit card interest rates. Understanding how these rates work is essential for making informed financial decisions and avoiding unnecessary debt traps. Whether you're new to credit cards or looking to brush up on your knowledge, this video will provide you with a comprehensive overview of credit card interest rates, breaking down complex concepts into easy-to-understand terms. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how credit card interest rates are calculated, how they impact your finances, and strategies for managing them effectively. So, grab a pen and paper or simply sit back and relax as we delve into the world of credit card interest rates and empower you to take control of your financial future. Let's get started. Credit card firms charge you interest for the convenience of borrowing money. Generally, it is stated as an annual percentage rate, or APR. The variable APR on the majority of credit cards varies based on a certain benchmark, like the prime rate. Your APR will be 16%, for instance, if the prime rate is 4% and your credit card charges the prime rate plus 12%. The APR for credit cards was 23.74% as of June 2023. The majority of credit cards only charge interest if the balance is not paid in full each month. The credit card firm then adds the interest charge to your debt and charges interest on the outstanding balance. You will thus pay interest on your interest if you don't pay off your balance in full the following month. Credit card balances can increase quickly and occasionally out of control in this way. Certain credit cards have numerous interest rates, which further complicates things. For instance, they can impose a different, typically higher rate on cash advances than they would on purchases. How interest is charged on credit cards. If you have credit card debt, the credit card company will add the daily interest to the balance you owe and multiply it by the daily balance. Your annual interest rate, or APR, is calculated each day by dividing it by 365. With an APR of 16%, for instance, your card's daily rate would be 0.044%. In the event that your day one balance was $500, you would pay $0.22 in interest, making your day two total of $500.22. Up until the end of the month, that procedure is carried out. If you started the month with a $500 amount and added no other fees, you would have $506.60 in total, interest included. Why does a credit card offer a good interest rate? One reason to compare credit card interest rates while looking for a new card is the large range of variations in these rates. Generally speaking, the higher the rate you qualify for, the better your credit, as indicated by your credit score. This is because, compared to someone with a lower score, the credit card provider will view you as less risky. Before you apply for a credit card, you can find out which cards and what kind of interest rates you might be eligible for by knowing your credit score and the range it falls within, such as excellent, good, fair, or low. Many websites, as well as certain credit card providers, offer free credit score reports. Keep in mind that your credit score is not included in your credit reports, which you can also get for free at annualcreditreport.com. How can interest on a credit card be avoided? The only method to keep interest from accruing on a credit card is to pay off the entire balance each month. A credit card company cannot charge you interest when you pay off your balance in full each month, and there is no amount that is carried over to the following month. Only the amount that is carried over from one billing cycle to the next is subject to interest charges. If you only make the minimum payment on your card, do you still incur interest? Yes. Even if you make the minimum payment on your credit card, interest is still charged. You won't be assessed fees if you pay the minimum amount due on your credit card each month, but you will be assessed interest on the amount that remains unpaid. For instance, if you have a $500 credit card amount and you pay $30 minimum necessary, you now owe $470 instead of $500. If the interest rate on your card is 20%, and you carry over this $470 to the following billing cycle, the amount you owe will increase to $564 from the original $470 due to the additional $94 in interest. This is not an accurate example of how a credit card business might charge interest. It is provided for simplicity's sake. What distinguishes interest from annual percentage rate? The majority of credit cards have an interest rate. Put simply, if you can't pay off your balance in full before the next billing month, this is the cost of borrowing money. When it comes to credit cards, interest is usually stated as an annual percentage rate, or APR. Credit card firms employ annual percentage rates to determine the interest paid throughout your monthly statement period, even if it is expressed as an annual rate. How may interest on credit cards be avoided or minimalised? Regardless of the interest rates on your credit card, there are a few things you can do to reduce the amount of interest you pay in a billing cycle or avoid paying credit card interest altogether. Completely pay off your credit card debt. The majority of credit card issuers provide you a grace period of at least 21 days between the date of purchase and the date of payment due. You won't pay interest on any new purchases you make during this time if you pay off your amount in full and have no outstanding cash advances. Try to pay a little bit above the minimum. If you are unable to pay off the entire amount, think about making as much of a payment as you can to prevent late fees and lower the total amount that is susceptible to interest. Usually, the minimum payment is limited to 3% of the total amount owed. Your interest charges will be further reduced on any amount exceeding this minimum. Is there a grace period on every credit card? No. It is not necessary for credit card companies to provide a grace period. Fortunately, a lot of them still do. Additionally, the user of your card must make sure that bills are mailed or delivered at least 21 days ahead of the due date if the card includes a grace period. What varieties of interest and APR are there? The fine print on your card has additional information that you should read to find out how much you might be charged in fees if you use it carelessly. What you should know is as follows. There are two types of APRs for credit cards, variable and fixed. A fixed APR usually doesn't fluctuate, but it can if there are specific conditions met, such when a promotional offer expires or your payment is past due by more than 60 days. According to Wall Street Journal publications, a variable APR typically varies in tandem with the prime rate. A margin is added to the prime rate in many variable interest rates. Your variable APR is the outcome. You should watch out for the various APR categories that credit cards often offer. Purchase APR. The interest rate that is charged when using the card to make purchases. APR on balance transfers. The interest rate that is charged when transferring funds between credit cards. The interest rate charged on the amount of money you borrow from your credit card is known as the cash advance APR. This usually has no grace period and is more expensive. If you use your card to get a cash advance, generally you will start paying interest as of the date of the transaction. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau states, the introductory APR is the short-term promotional rate that certain credit card issuers provide to entice you to apply. For a brief period, an introductory APR may be applied to balance transfers and/or purchases. It is usually less than the card's standard APR and may even be 0%. Keep in mind that initial APR durations aren't indefinite. Furthermore, you can be charged a penalty APR if your payment is beyond 60 days overdue. This would entail paying higher interest rates for a few months or longer. The favourable tidings: if you pay your credit card company on time for 6 consecutive months, they could be willing to change the interest rate. Penalty APRs. The interest incurred for late payments or other infractions against the terms and conditions of the card. If your payment is over 60 days overdue, you may be assessed this APR, which is typically the highest. Because credit card firms impose exorbitant interest rates on amounts that remain outstanding, credit card interest can be a financial trap. Monthly credit card bill carryovers lead to outrageous expenses that are difficult to repay, which is why there is a significant household debt issue in the United States. It is prudent financial management to pay off your credit card debt each month in order to prevent incurring exorbitant interest. Establish a budget and stick to it if you don't think you can pay off your credit card debt each month in order to prevent accruing debt. And there you have it, folks. We've covered everything you need to know about credit card interest rates, from how they're calculated to strategies for minimizing their impact on your wallet. We hope you found this information valuable and empowering as you navigate the world of personal finance. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to managing your money. So don't hesitate to put what you've learnt into practice. Whether it's paying off existing balances, shopping around for lower rates, or simply being more mindful of your spending habits, every small step counts towards achieving financial well-being. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on personal finance, budgeting tips, and everything in between. And as always, feel free to leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay financially savvy and keep striving towards your goals. Take care and see you in the next video.